First item up on our agenda is to approve our agenda as presented. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to the next item is tenure for our staff.
It is a glorious time. Guys, what you don't know is that, like, there's only a few times that we have a lot of people in the audience, and it is when we introduce new staff and then on the lovely night that we get to give tenure. So this is a happy event, but I'm getting ready to present to you some of our finest Clinton City School staff members. Just to refresh your memory, several years ago, they revamped the tenure law to where it became much more difficult to receive tenure in any system. And so they have met the criteria, the stringent criteria of receiving tenure with Clinton City Schools. They have taught at least 5 years within our system, and the past 2 years have either been a level 4 or a level 5 level of effectiveness. So, you know, we have some employees now with this new law that can actually stay with us for a long time if they're a level 3 and can still be a solid, wonderful teacher, but they have to be exceptional to be able to meet the new tenure law. So I would like to call you all up and give you our plaque, and then after you called up, if you'll just stay here, then we're gonna get the school board, and we will get Jen and Monica Lee in. If one of y'all can snap some pictures, then that would be fabulous. Okay, so we are going to start with, come on up, Mr. Babel, or Dr. Babel. We will start with Brandy Poor. So Brandy, come on up. Congratulations. We appreciate you. So Brandy has been with us. She came straight to us from college. We grabbed her super quick, and she has done No, you did not? I thought you were a UT grad.
I am, but I taught for 2 years before.
You did, and Knox or Anderson? Knox County. You are so right. I forgot about that. I thought we started you straight from school. Anyway, you've done second, third, and fourth, correct?
Yes.
With us. And so she is an outstanding teacher, works magic in the classroom, and we are super proud of you. All right, next we have Allison Rich. So Allison, come on up. We did steal Allison straight from Johnson Hall University. I remember that. But she came to us with a different last name, and since she has married Zeke who's with us. So congratulations, we are proud of you.
Thank you.
And then next we have the infamous Allison Swanner. Come on up, Allison. Allison's been with us for the past 5 years, past 6 years actually, doing art with us at Clinton Elementary. She's responsible for the Exceptional Artist Camp, for Mosaic Arts Festival, for our pottery and bowls, and we could go on and on. But congratulations, we are so proud of you. Next we have, I was looking for the name, and the name is at the top. So Miss Janie Terry, come on up, and you can bring your love to the girls with you.
Cute little girl.
We are so proud. Congratulations.
And happy birthday. And
Hey, is it your birthday too? Yes. It's Mama's birthday today. You want to hold her flag? Happy birthday and congratulations on tenure. We stole Jamie from Knox County, and we are super proud that we did. So she teaches kindergarten at Clinton Elementary School. And then next up we have Jason Glasshauser. Come on up. So fun fact about Jason Glasshauser is that he just has won. We just got recognition, or got the announcement 2 days ago, that he has won the CMA Educator of Excellence Award for the 2nd year in a row. And so that is awesome for him to be able to do that 2 years in a row. But congratulations, we are blessed to have you. Next we have Drews Overton. New mommy Drews. Come on up. We are so proud of you and so excited you're with us. My favorite story about Drews is when she's our speech teacher at North Clinton. And when she got hired, she was so excited. She did private practice, and she was so excited that in the driveway walking to her car, she looked back and she's like, "Yes, I'm finally a cougar!" So excited about being at North Clinton. So excited. grade, you departmentalized, and sixth grade, and third grade. And then this year, she was the one, when we had a resignation, she agreed to leave sixth grade and to go to fourth grade. And she has decided to retire this year, unless I can just continue to do some magic, and we're still working on that. Not to make you feel guilty in any capacity. But anyway, we definitely want to recognize you with your tenure. You are just a precious educator. Wonderful.
She gets tenure and
Huh?
she gets
Yeah, she
tenure.
gets tenure and then she leaves.
You retire? No, you have to stay 10 more years.
I think the rule should be you have to stay at least one more year. After you get the plaque, you have to commit. I think that is a requirement. And then finally, we have Erin Maples. Erin Maples is from South Clinton Elementary. She teaches fourth grade, will be going to sixth grade next year. She was not able to be with us tonight. She also helps coach a high school softball team that has made it to the regionals tonight. Yes, and if that shows you her heart, she said, I would rather be with my children than to receive a award on my behalf as much as I love Clinton City Schools. So that shows you where her heart is. So Leanne, after this is over with, we'll get you to take this to her, but we want to certainly congratulate her. So if the board will come up, and we'll swap a quick picture, and then if you all will return to your seat long enough, because it does have to be formalized, the board has to vote that you have received your tenure, and then after they do that vote, you all are welcome to stay and enjoy the fun, or you are welcome to go home and put your night clothes on. Get it? Yeah. Just make sure the center. You gotta make sure center, still center. Oh, let me count how many people, because I gotta make sure that I've got it. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it? Congratulations, guys!
Why is she retired? Hey. Hey, why is she?
I'll fill you in.
I think
Hey,
Jamie's
Drew, so
adopted
you may go
that.
home, but I think the baby has to stay. Oh, okay, okay, very good. All right, we'll need to approve this before we
All
move
right.
to the next.
All right. So moving on, the most important part, I will entertain a motion to present all teachers that have been presented for tenure, to grant them tenure. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed.
It's
Welcome.
official.
It's official.
Woo! Now that you have tenure, you can never leave. It's just, it's a lifetime commitment, Jill Smithson.
Yeah, I think tenure, now it requires a 10-year contract, doesn't it?
I think it does.
I think so.
it does. You'll be getting that in your mail tomorrow. You guys are welcome to stay or you're welcome to go.
All right. Moving on, I'll entertain a motion to approve our consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to our financial report with Mr. Ray.
Everybody should have in their board packets the March summary financial statements for all three funds. Nothing really significant to point out. Our revenues are coming in as expected. Some of I've modified in our budget amendment, some that are a little bit outside of what I predicted, but nothing major. The expenditures are the same. Everything's kind of in line with how we've budgeted. May and June will bring large budget amendments. And May's accounts for some of our expenditures, mainly in administration equipment for May. And then next year, next month, we'll tweak the final modifications for any salaries and insurance, little adjustments up and down. Federal Projects Fund, I guess if you quantify your accounts receivable, which federal projects is always accounts receivable, we spend it, we apply to get the money back. You put that in a number of days, and we're still under 2 months, which is good, but I like it to be closer to 30 days, because I'd rather have our money sooner rather than later. But we're in a good position and better than most. Cafeteria fund, we're still in a surplus, and that is looking to grow a little bit, and that will be reflected in the budget amendment as well. So, any questions on the March financial statements?
All right. I'll entertain a motion to approve our March financial statement as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further questions, comments, or discussion? Hearing none, could we have a roll call vote, please?
KK Meredith? Yes. Lori Wilson?
Yes.
Tim Bible?
Yes.
Merle Price?
Yes.
Joey Smith?
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to budget amendment number 5.
Budget amendment 5, if you look at the memo, I try to summarize the significant dollar amounts within the budget amendment. We'll start with the general purpose school fund. We had a net increase in appropriations of $404,000. This is funded by some revenue increases, $190,000, and we're using some of our fund balance to pay for these, what I'll call one-time expenditures. They're not reoccurring. That's all within the realm of what I would consider normal. Excluding the summer learning camps, we have a net increase in salary and benefits of $67,000. What caused that net increase? Well, we had an increase in insurance costs and in participation. So we got more people came on board, and each person cost us more money. So we had to account for that in this budget amendment. When people retire, they get paid out their vacation days. We have to account for that in the budget. We don't necessarily know who's going to retire at the beginning of the year. So I'm accounted for that. Summer learning camps, we have to budget the expenditure, but it's like a grant. We spend the money, we get the money back. We had some increases in administrative equipment. It's kind of an odd name for this type of an expense, but that's where the chart of accounts tells us it lies. It's access control systems, which is our key fobs, these that we're going to be that we've already implemented at central office and then system-wide. The intercom system that we've already purchased for Clinton Elementary. Speaker and camera additions for South Clinton that were a result of the construction. And then the window enhancements that we've just completed. All those expenditures are accounted for in the budget now. We had an increase in utility costs. Part of that is our increased square footage. We've had 2 additions. And part of it is the unit cost for electricity and gas. All those resulted in what I consider $32,000 of increased expenditures for this year over prior years. And then we had an increase in textbooks of $40,000, and it's not due to one specific textbook, but it's generally the math textbook adoption is that increase of what we expected at the beginning of the year. Federal projects funds, most of them are adjustments in expenditures, increases and decrease. The net effect is 0. And all those budgets have been approved by the Tennessee Department of Ed. And again, we spend it, we get reimbursed. We did have a new budget for the Resilient Schools Community Grant of $44,000. So that's an increase in expense, but also an increase in revenue. Cafeteria fund had an increase in fund balance due to our participation increases and the efficiencies of the food service management company. So, any questions on the budget? I know there's a lot there, but I don't think there's anything outside of what we normally do in May, and then in June we'll probably have another rather large budget amendment.
All right. Any further questions for Mr. Ray regarding budget amendment number 5? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Sure. KK Meredith,
Yes.
Lori Wilson,
Yes.
Tim Bible,
Yes.
Merle Price,
Yes.
Joey Smith.
Yes.
Motion carries. Moving on to new business, we have the 2023-24 budget on a second reading.
The only change from the first reading to the second reading is we had an increase in estimated funding from the state, the TISA formula. Originally, I I was a little too cautious, I suppose.
I know that surprises you all.
And I won't say wrong, but there's a
Never say wrong.
there's a physical capacity index that they use, and we didn't have that index in March. And they have since produced it, and so I've put that in the algorithm that calculates our funding, and it resulted in about $230,000 in additional funding from first read. That we put into capital projects, mainly to offset the cost of some playground, some ADA construction that will be going into next year. And that's the only two changes, a slight increase in revenue and a slight increase in expense. No changes in the cafeteria fund or the federal projects.
Any further questions for Mr. Ray regarding our 2023-24 budget? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the budget as presented. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Sure. KK Webster,
Yes.
Lori Wilson,
Yes.
Tim Bible,
Yes,
Merle Price.
Yes.
Joey Smith.
Yes.
motion carries. Moving on to our community eligibility program at North Clinton.
So this is just an annual approval that the school board needs to do. North Clinton continues to meet the criteria to be a community eligibility program, which means that all students in North Clinton can eat breakfast and lunch for free. And so we just need your approval to continue that program.
Any further?
Motion. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to our consolidated application for IDEA and ESEA.
So Lori Collins is our federal program supervisor, and we have it's called the consolidated application, which consists of our Title I, Title II, Title III, and Title IV funds. And so she has written that application. It has received approval from the state, but we have to have approval from the board that we will accept all of those federal funds and abide by their guidelines. So this is just an annual approval that you all do.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to salary schedule.
So you all have approved the salary schedule for all the positions that we have in Clinton City School, with the exception of one that I've asked Suzanne Oliver to speak to you about. In the past, we have contracted out our OTPT services, and I'll let Suzanne talk a little bit more about the reason, but we are going to bring those into the fold and actually hire these employees to where they work for Clinton City Schools. And so that created the need for another salary schedule. So I'll kind of let Suzanne take over and give you the specifics.
So traditionally here in Clinton City Schools, we have contracted for occupational therapy and for physical therapy. The company we've contracted with the last several years, they are going out of the OTPT business, and they're going to continue on with some speech therapy. And I approached Kelly when we found out that that was going to happen and asked if we could please just go ahead and finally hire our own physical therapy assistant and a certified occupational therapy assistant. She agreed. We're working out all the details at this point, but two of the young women who have worked with us through Sidekick would like to stay with us. They know our children. It's just good continuity of care for the kids, familiarity of families, and all of those things. So Kelly has approved that. I appreciate that very, very much, and hoping that you guys will approve a salary schedule for them. We've talked through how much they made through the billing process and the things that they've done through that company, and we just sort of went backwards and out from where they had done that, and then tried to make it match what Scott traditionally does with our other salary schedules as far as step raises and those kinds of things. To offset some of these costs, we're hoping to eventually have a contract with, we're in the process, again, it's lots of paperwork and things, of becoming our very own managed care organization, where we can now bill TennCare for some of these therapies, and we'll recoup some of those monies that we can actually turn that in. And so these folks are certified to do that. We have a company out of Chattanooga that we're working with to take care of all that. So it'll be a process of, they'll enter in the information, and this company out of Chattanooga, Stellar Therapy Services, will take care of billing and getting us some of that money that lays out on the table. We'd like to have it coming back to us, so.
So two quick additions. The first is that these are OT assistants and PT assistants. So Suzanne is working, and we'll have to contract with an actual physical therapist, an occupational therapist, who will approve the program and work with the evaluation. So there will be a little bit of offset costs there that we'll have to.
Do they reevaluate ever so often?
Yes.
They do an annual, once they do the initial evaluation, they annually come back in and just do a quick update for the kids to see progress that we've made. So it's annual updates.
And that falls in line with the IEP, because the IEP is updated annually. So, but a lot of the things that we work on from an educational standpoint, the goal is intended to last for a year. So it's not like a 6-week physical therapy session. You're setting a goal that you feel like is gonna take you a
Right,
year to get
right.
there. So the goal setting's a little bit different than in a,
medical setting.
yeah, in a medical setting.
We work to provide goals and things that help them access their educational needs. So once they've done those things, like we'll have families that say, well, how can they graduate from this? Well, because they're accessing their educational environment, they're accessing what they need materially and academically. So it's not quite the same as a medical model, but gets us
And
there.
then the other thing is, Suzanne's working hard. The company is called Stellar, and they would be kind of a third-party vendor that would help us with our TennCare billing. But before we enter that agreement, we will bring that contract to you all for approval. That's still kind of in the discussion stages. I think we'll be ready to rock and roll with the OTPT fairly quickly. Our goal is to add speech and language onto that throughout the course of this year. And then we also have an opportunity to add some of our nursing services on to recoup some of our funds.
All right. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve our salary schedule as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to a memorandum of understanding with Clinton City Police Department and Clinton City Schools.
Yes, so if you all recall, back in 2013 was when we entered our first partnership with the city of Clinton. Unfortunately, after the Sandy Hook shooting, we had the discussions about the need of having an SRO in every school. And we accessed some grant funds to get that program started. And then over the years, the city has been providing an SRO to us. And we actually have been one of the lucky districts, because many districts within the state of Tennessee were not lucky enough to have their funding body support this effort. So with the latest school shooting in Nashville, Governor Lee, rightfully so, has placed a big focus on school safety. And just in the past few days, he has signed into law a new school safety package that includes several things. One of them is going to be that they are hiring numerous additional Homeland Security officers. So we will have in Anderson County our very own Homeland Security officer that is specific to school safety that we will have access to. I will tell you that we are hearing, at my director meetings, we have met also a Tennessee Highway Patrolman that is going to be assigned to our district, and then the Homeland Security plus our police officers. And part of this package in this law was that I think $140 million was going to go to ensure that there was an SRO in every school. So because this is a law enforcement issue and staffing issue. The money is not going to run through us at all. It really has nothing to do with schools. It has to do with cities, counties, sheriff's departments, and police departments. So the Department of Safety, the money's going to flow through them and go straight to the city. Part of the city and the police department being able to take advantage of this grant is that we have an updated MOU. And our MOU had not been updated since 2013. It actually has been on my list for a long time to do. It's just this grant is bringing it to the forefront. So I actually have requested a copy of a sample MOU from the State Department, and then Roger Houck, City Manager, and I have worked this week to tweak that MOU to meet the needs of Clinton City Police and Clinton City Schools. And so we need to update our MOU with them. Once you all approve that, then Roger will take that to City Council in 2 weeks, and then we'll all be able to sign off on that, and we'll have that check mark for the state funds.
All right. Any further questions on, or comments on the memorandum of understanding?
Seems very thorough.
It is thorough.
Very thorough.
And it actually addresses, our other one was very, very short, but I know that we were just dipping our toe in the waters back in the day. But it's very thorough about the roles and responsibilities of each one. And, you know, we've had an overall wonderful experience, but this does outline if there are rough waters, you know, the proper way that we will take care of that. And I'm pleased that the city is equally as happy with it as we are. So I think it will be a good agreement.
Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve our memorandum of understanding.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second.
See, do this.
Any further questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to our approval for 3 new bank accounts that we discussed at our last board meeting, where we are trying to spread out the risk as far as keeping all of our money in one individual place, with some of the recent histories of some banks having some troubles in different areas. And so in order to do that, we do need an official board approval in order to spread that risk out to 3 different banks. And so that is what is presented to us today. Any further discussion or anything?
We just I think went into great detail at the meeting last night, and we wanted to prepare you all that this was heading your way. But it's not that we have had a certain influx of money and that we need 3 different bank accounts, but we are just trying to diversify and place them to where we could be secure in the fact that we could meet payroll in the event of anything catastrophic happening. And so Scott's been very thoughtful about this. I think he has a history and has our confidence that he makes good financial decisions. If he feels good about it, I usually feel good about it. So he has not solidified those 3 locations yet. As soon as he does, he will certainly let you know, because he is doing a deep investigation of every financial organization to determine where he is most comfortable putting some of our funds. But it will be all general purpose funds. The federal funds, cafeteria funds will stay with Regions.
All right. Any further questions or comments?
Banks will get to know him, won't they?
They will get to know him well.
All right. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve 3 new bank accounts for our general purpose full school funds.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to reports from principals and supervisors.
And just to add on very quickly before we move to reports, Scott will he will give you all, as part of his financial report every month, you will have information about those 3 additional places as well. So we will keep you well informed of what.
The local government investment committee we approved last time, that wire should be going out tomorrow, so there's really nothing to report today, but we should have $250,000 going out to that tomorrow. So next month, we'll be able to report on that's what we've done.
So So in other words, you were saying that your financial report will get even longer next month.
Absolutely, it's a
Okay,
joy.
all right. You love to talk about your money. Okay, reports from principals. They are going to be short and sweet today because they are exhausted for rightful reasons. We are field daying, we are cooking out, we are field tripping, we are biz towning it, we are end of the year celebrations, we are incentives May. We always joke that we work hard until TCAP time, and then we try to cram everything fun into the month of May, and we kill everybody. And so they are half dead right now, but they are here. And so Leanne is going to go ahead and apologize that she's had field day and cookout today. And so come on up, Leanne, and that may be all you have energy to say today.
I mean, that's enough. I was just going to mention that I got some text messages and pictures from JA bragging on Clinton City Schools and how great our students are in comparison to, you know, other groups that sometimes come in, that we're just like always a joy, and they're always such great kids, and they enjoy having them. So I wanted to pass that along. Not that, I mean, all the kids are great, but ours just kind of stand out. Ours are special. Yeah, exactly.
So we did have field day and spring cookout today, and I really want to brag on Leslie Tumblin because she's been dealing with some personal health issues, and she every single year pulls off an amazing field day, and our kids have so much fun, and she works so hard. So I just want to recognize all the hard work that she put into field day and just making it a great memory for all of our kids today. We're going to have our May assembly tomorrow afternoon, so it's going to be our last assembly of the year. We're going to recognize our students of the month and our staff member of the month. I want to thank all of our parents because they have showered us with snacks and gift cards for the teachers and all kinds of goodies for Teacher Appreciation Week. So they have stepped up and shown our teachers how much they appreciate them. I want to thank South Clinton Baptist Church. They provided lunch for everybody on Monday. And then Evan Timms, who is Rebecca Timms, who teaches kindergarten at our school, her husband is going to provide lunch for our staff tomorrow as well. So I want to go ahead and tell them thank you for just showing South Clinton staff some love. Awards Day is going to be May 24th. And Kelly, you kind of stole my thunder on this one, but I'm going to say it anyway. I wanted to congratulate Jason Glasshauser. We are super proud of him. It's really a big deal to get the CMA Education Foundation Music Teacher of Excellence Award at all. And to get it 2 years in a row is amazing. And he does amazing things in his classroom. I know he did this at North, and he's going to do it at South as well. He's opening up music classes for parents to come in and learn about what their kids are doing in music, and it's just a great opportunity for parents to get to come in and see the good things that are happening. So we're just super proud, and we are very lucky to have Jason as part of Clinton City Schools. I just want to brag on our iReady data for this year. So our average growth in both reading and math as a school is above 100%, with 100% being a year's growth. So super proud, but I especially want to point out third grade was 167% in reading. Super proud of them. And then in fifth grade, our math was at 180% average growth. So great job to everyone, but I especially wanted to point out those 2 grade levels because they've worked really hard this year. So thank you.
Leanne, before you sit down, would you like to tell them who you, with Jason Glasshauser being our music teacher when he got the CMA awards, and Brooks and Dunn was who, Kix Brooks was the one who was a Brooks and Dunn, is the one who was presenting the award.
Really?
And yes, so Leanne is super excited because she got to go with him. And of course, she was talking about a selfie, and sweet little Jason had no idea who Brooks and Dunn was.
No.
So this was the opportunity for our sweet Leanne to educate Jason Glasshauser in the area of music.
Just a little bit. I'm trying to talk him into letting me go to CMAs with him next year.
So part of the awards is he gets to go to the CMA Awards. And so he took his brother, I believe, was it his brother last year? And so I think Monica and Leanne need to be working that, see if you can get the invite.
Leanne, you should have let us know that before we approved his tenure. We could have worked something out.
I will say the CMA Foundation is amazing, and what they do to recognize music educators and make them just recognize the hard work that they do and the impact
All right, with that said, Monica, if you want to use this time to like say why you need to be the one to go to CMA Awards, come on up.
I think Leanne should go every time.
Come on up, Miss Rail.
I'll go with you, Leanne.
Okay.
We have, yes, we're all very busy. It's all been very fun. We had our final family engagement night on the 2nd, and we had a STEM night. We had UT students who came to share some digital printing that they had done, and all of the homeroom teachers and staff had set up stations for all sorts of fun STEM activities. And we had some science-themed door prizes for participants. It was really neat. There were exactly enough door prizes for every student who came to receive a STEM-themed door prize, so that was just fortunate. We had on May 4th, Faith Promise, we want to make sure and thank them. They gifted teachers with a Chick-fil-A box lunch for Teacher Appreciation, so that was really, really sweet, and we appreciate them a whole lot for doing that. We've got some field trips going on and coming up. First and second grade got to go to the zoo on May 4th, and fifth grade, yes, went to BizTown and had a great time. Had apparently 2 students of the day, Addison Duncan, whose mom was a former North Clinton student, Jessamine Brewer. Her daughter Addison was, and then Cobain Faust was another student of the day at BizTown. I was so proud of them. 6th grade is going to get to go to Clinton Middle School and spring camp coming up next week. We had our Community Pre-K Advisory Council meeting on May 9th, where we just all got to weigh in on the needs of our community pre-K that we have housed at North Clinton as well. We did have, Jason had May 9th and 10th had for kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade students. He invited those in. The kids were excited to show off all their talents, and the parents were just thrilled. We had brothers and sisters and grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles. Everybody came. Today, 2nd grade took the state field test, and that went off without a hitch. Everything went well with that, and we're having our cookout for tomorrow. Our field day will be next week. Leslie Tumblin is already moving stuff in from South Clinton's field day. She starts sending stuff over, so our gym is full of items for field day for us to have on the 16th. And the May 22nd and 23rd pre-K is going to have 2 fun days. One is a water fun day, and the other one is just some outdoor, not quite a field day, but something similar set up for them. And on the 23rd, we'll have Awards Day for K through 5. And the following day, on the 24th, we'll have Pre-K Awards Day and 6th grade graduations on the 25th. They leave us.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Rail.
you.
Oh, wait.
I ready?
Oh.
I was going to save it till last, and then I forgot it.
Do tell.
We have some 3rd grade students who haven't finished, but our math I Ready growth is currently at 175% growth, and our reading growth is 218% growth.
Wow.
I also want to say that currently our math, we have 64% on or above grade level, and in reading, 72% was on or above grade level.
Is it 3rd?
Pardon?
What, it was 3rd grade or
School-wide.
School-wide?
School-wide. School-wide. So I had a little moment of, wow, good stuff happening all the time, but good growth, but also working toward being on grade level and
Wow.
above. So that was
You know
very
what, Dr.
exciting.
Bible, I think, just said he's going to do a leg kick after the meeting.
I want to see
That's
that.
what we do, we celebrate.
Don't leave early, KK. I might need some therapy.
That's awesome. And last but certainly not least, Ms. Sharp from Clinton Elementary, who was rocking and rolling today with lots of outdoor activities.
We also had K through 2 field day today, so it was nice to hear what's going on at the other schools, but a lot of my school board report is also bragging on a group that never really gets the recognition they deserve, and that's also the special area teachers. We do have a lot of fun stuff at the end of the year, but they work extremely hard just to kind of showcase what they've done in a more portfolio type classroom. So first, I want to brag though on the Clinton Fire Department. Last week was our cookout, and they are so generous. It was such an amazing community event. We had so many people. I don't think we've had that many people there since COVID. So that was nice, but we do appreciate them taking their time to serve us. And they are also going to be at the school on the 22nd, I'm sorry, for our end of the year party. And it might involve a water hose. So, but I want to brag on Mr. Case and Miss Tomlinson. Mr. Case and his performances, they did a 3rd and 4th grade performance. A lot of the parents got to come, but also, if you've never been to the setup of a book fair, it's a lot of time and effort. I know we've had several parents come in and help, and we just appreciate all they do. Number one, to showcase people who don't normally get recognition, again, for the students, but also the books are just amazing, and the love for reading, I can tell, is growing. I want to brag on Miss Swanner for the Mosaic Art Festival. I think that you all got to come and just to see her artwork, and then even the little pieces of art that were on the ground. She did a tribute to one of our students who had passed away, and I thought that was very special. And you don't realize how much things like that, their art, means to the parents and grandparents. So I appreciate that. Miss Curley did hold field day today. That was a lot of fun. It was K through 2. If you want to see some exciting videos, I've got a few of boys doing cartwheels in the obstacle course, and other fun stories that I will have to tell you about that. Miss Ariel did Careers on Wheels yesterday, and that was a huge success. We appreciate everyone in the community coming out for that. As a school, we met with Keely from NIET yesterday just to sort of wrap up go over our goals from this year and a vision for next year and the NIET work. I know that Kelly's probably told you a lot about it. It is so good, but there's so much you want to do so well. It's overwhelming, and one thing they told us, you have to move slow to go fast and forward, and it's been so helpful, and the teachers' instructional practices have really grown. Lori Collins has been an integral part of that too, so thank you. I want to brag on the students for working so hard on TCAP, so you know that testing is over. The students took it very seriously. It seemed like they came in better rested, and a lot of them talked about breakfast and different things. So we are having a breakfast tomorrow after the senior walk. Hoppy said they would be there between 9 and 9:15. So if anybody wants to come, 9 o'clock, and then at 9:30 we'll be having a breakfast. So thank you.
Could I use that as an excuse to be at the senior walk?
Yes, you can. Yes. I've heard they're trying to limit parents for coming for safety reasons, but we would love to have you.
I'll be
Lori.
there as a board member.
Board member.
Yes, absolutely.
The last year was the first year they have done the senior walk.
That's pretty cool.
It was one of the most emotional. I mean, just watching them come back into the halls of their elementary school, and then watching the kids look up to them, and then watching the teachers cry because they've seen they've seen the growth. It is, yes, I'm just so glad that you all are hosting that event, because that will be a memorable event that the kids definitely remember. And then just a little preview about Jenna and her career day. One of her children came, and her career is going to be, she's going to be a stay-at-home mom. And the mom got very, very creative, and this is a great mom. She is a great stay-at-home mom, but the mom got very creative of how the girl came to school dressed as a stay-at-home mom, and that is going to be our Mother's Day post on Sunday. So stay tuned for some beautiful, I think she's in kindergarten, I think, but anyway, there'll be some wonderful career day as a stay-at-home mama pictures coming, compliments of one of Jenna's child.
Also, art already has been amazing as well. We're not all the way done, but in 6th grade, we had a student grow almost 1,000 points. We've got students in 4th grade testing out of the program, and I don't think it's because they're used to the program. I think that's credited to the teachers and their hard work and instruction. So,
Absolutely. That concludes our principal reports.
All right. Moving on, take a look at our reports and our information there. I'm fairly certain that Kim has contacted everybody about the Summer Law Institute and who will be attending. And after you look at those, we'll move on into the director's report.
Okay, a couple of wrapping up the school year items for Clinton City Schools. We are wrapping up sixth grade graduation. Faith Promise has remained faithful and opening up their building for us to use, so that will be on Thursday, May 25th. We rotate, we've grown so large that as much as we would like to hold one Clinton City School ceremony, there's just not a venue large enough in Clinton to host that anymore, which is a good thing. But we are flip-flopping who goes first each year. So this year, it will be North and South will be at 9 o'clock, and then Clinton Elementary School will be at 11 o'clock. And once again, thanks to Faith Promise for allowing us the ability to use their facilities. Okay, so a little bit of third grade retention. It is here, it is hit, and we are going to be okay. We are going to be, I think we are system-wide are going to be okay. Our scores are looking great. TDOE should be releasing TCAP raw scores to Jamie on Friday. And so the raw scores are just basically how many questions they answered correctly. But what they are going to do is they will tell us who is proficient and who is not. So we will not know who is below basic or in an approaching category, but we will know who is subject to the retention law, who is not. So Dr. Jordan will be working over the weekend to get letters out to parents of all those children who did not meet the criteria to be proficient. And then we will go to our next safety net, which is if they scored 40th percentile or above on their EasyCBM, parents can appeal to the State Department for them to be exempt. We can also appeal on behalf of the parent with the parent's permission. So in that letter, it is going to let the parents know, even though your child was not proficient, they were above the 40th percentile, you can do the appeal or you can give us permission to do the appeal. And so that will be the first safety net. And I'm very, very proud to report that Jamie has run those numbers, and the majority of our children are scoring above 40th percentile. So this is not going to have the massive impact on our sweet district that I think it will others. So we will help with that appeal process. And then we will also inform parents that if there is a catastrophic event, such as a divorce, death in the family, loss of house, homelessness, mental health issues, that they have the right to appeal for catastrophic event to the department. Then we will give a retake option is going to be on the 23rd of May. And so Jamie held a webinar with the third grade teachers and administrators today about that, but it will be a shortened TCAP test. So we intend for everyone who doesn't meet that threshold of EasyCBM, we will arrange during the school day for them to take a retake. And then, of course, by that information, then we are going to know who needs to either do summer school or tutoring next year. And so we've got a good, solid plan in place. Once again, special ed, ELL, and previously retained students are going to be exempt from the law altogether. So regardless of how they score, there will be no retake or appeal. So Dr. J has done a tremendous job, and I don't think that we can thank our third grade teachers enough for the pressure that they have felt this year in getting kids where they need to be. And we always feel pressure, and we always want our kids to do a good job, and teachers always put in well over 100% effort. But third grade teachers have really been the focus and the center of a lot of negative talk this year. And so they've really put their head down and done what needs to be done, and I'm super, super proud of them. We are going to fare well in Clinton City Schools. But summer school for pre-K through rising 7th grades will be June 5th through the 30th at North Clinton Elementary School. Lori Collins has done a fabulous job of putting that together. Also with Lauren King, our 6th grade teacher, who is our principal for summer school. And then you kind of talked about our BizTown trip, but our 5th graders, and you just have to go see it to believe it. It is the most amazing experience that they have. But multiple workers at JA, including Wendy and including Callie, said there is such a different caliber in the experience from Clinton City Schools visiting. Our kids were taking it so seriously, but even from the staff members and the parent volunteers were doing such a great job implementing the system with fidelity, and it was just beautiful it was beautiful to see all the students in their little suits and their nails done and their hair done, and it was just amazing. But we also are going to be doing BizTown Summer Camp this year. We partner with JA, and we pay for a 1-week camp for 75 of our students to attend. That is at capacity with a waiting list, as it always is. Lori works with Callie on that, and so that is happening again this year. And Allison Swanner's also doing her Exceptional Artist Camp this year at Clinton Elementary from June 5th through the 9th. You will see both Clinton City Schools and non-Clinton City residents attend this camp, but it is a great way to showcase our school, and it's a great way to showcase the quality program that she runs. And then I would like for Joey just to take 30 seconds to explain a beautiful thing happened this week with South Clinton's 6th grade in Miss Ridley's room. And I will tell you that we have had one of the South Clinton teachers who went on this field trip say that it is single-handedly the most high-quality integrated academic field trip that she's ever been a part of in her career. And this is not even something we asked Miss Ridley to do. She saw a need. She went and contacted Catherine and worked with the Historic Downtown Clinton Board. But Joey, kind of talk about their field trip briefly, about how powerful it was.
It was. I'm going to need more than 30 seconds.
Okay, I'll give you 45.
Okay. Well, I serve as the vice chair for that board, which is a nonprofit that the goals of that board are preservation of historic buildings, education, and that includes history education and just education in your community, so schools and kids, art, revitalization, and leadership. I know we've talked here and heard many presentations on STEM and how you integrate all these things into an educational experience for kids. So this was a great example of that. Our board has been working with a lot of different school groups just on history, teaching history or doing displays for the kids. Clinton High School is working on an art project. Independently, I think Miss Ridley put together this program for her kids, which actually we've married them now, and the high school kids and the 6th graders have worked together and met. But they made a presentation to us with, I think, 5 different goals or ideas they had for downtown. They were so well put together. The presentation skills of the kids were incredible. We had a lot of board members talk about how well they presented. But just the content of what they did and this integrated learning, they were putting together business plans for restaurants that they would like to see. They put together a plan for an art installation, which in conjunction with the high school, I think we actually can make that's actually probably going to happen. But they designed the art, brought us a model and a sketch. It was really, I knew it was going to be good, since it was Clinton City Schools, but it was unbelievable. And the kids were great. It was a great example of integrated STEM education. They did it all. They even stayed afterwards and wanted to take a tour, on the walking tour downtown, to talk about history. They actually listened to me. They answered my questions, although one kid's answer to every single one of my questions was the Great Depression. I eventually got around to that, and that was like, finally, that's the answer. But it was just a great day. They did just everything that you hope to see with the kids getting involved in their community and doing things at school that are actually, I think, beyond their years, their age. Was really impressive. Impressed the entire board, and it was a great day, and the kids seemed like they had a good time. I had to part ways with them before they went to Hoskins, but I think
You missed out on the ice cream.
Wise decision.
Yeah.
I got great feedback from that as well, from people saying that how impressed they were with the students and how well put together that their presentations were.
Yeah. At the core of all this, what just delights my heart more than anything, all the way from these kids all the way up to the high school kids, is that they love their little town. And they love Clinton. They want to see it, they want to do things for it, they want to give back to it. To have that attitude already as a 6th grader is unbelievable. But that just, I don't know, there's nothing better than to see kids want to get involved in their community.
Well, and I think the vision that Augusta, Miss Ridley had, and she took a leap of faith, moving away from just textbook standard instruction, and found a way to incorporate all of that, and there is no doubt that that will show up. You can do both. You can have authentic, real-life learning experiences under SDS standards at the same time, and I think Clinton City repeatedly shows that can be done, so.
That sticks.
It
That
sticks.
kind of stuff sticks.
It
It's
sticks.
stuff that you remember, whereas you don't necessarily remember the textbook stuff when you grow up to be an adult. You do remember things like that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Joey. And then just three other quick things. Our NLFCU Media Center is up and running. We were blessed to have Mike Witcher show up. Compliments of Brian Hatmaker. He pulled that off for us after a city council meeting. And so he came, and I'm a little disappointed that he did not share personally with me that he was leaving WBIR at that event, that it came out a couple of days later. I thought we were a little bit better friends than that, but it was great having him there. But he was, him and the executives from our NLFCU could not believe the state-of-the-art equipment that was in the media center. And so our kids were able to showcase a news little segment. They were advertising graduation, but that was a very, very impressive event. And then just publicly, the student transfer period closes on May 15th. This is an earlier date than ever has been. So anybody that applies after the 15th will be put on a waiting list until we see the whites of eyeballs. And so that is going to be new and may come as a surprise to some people. We try to communicate that the best we can. And then teachers' last day on contract is going to be Friday, May 26th. And then they will quickly return on July 27th this year. Christmas determines that special return date, and it's a few days earlier this year than normal. And then students' first day will be August the 4th, so we will close it up and then quickly get it back up running again. So any questions for me?
All right, great things always happening at Clinton City Schools, and it is hectic, but it's,
Hectic but
at
good.
least it's winding down. All right, that's everything that we have on our agenda for tonight, so I'll declare this meeting adjourned.